Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to do another little study update on the road to CHT. I'm sorry about the crazy lighting. California has decided that it is time to go back to winter in the very end of May, and it's crazy and rainy and super gloomy outside, so not very good lighting. We do what we can with it. Sorry about my voice too. I am finally starting to feel a little bit more like myself after being really sick the last 2 weeks with a really bad cold. So I'm still a little bit stuffy, so I apologize for that, and hopefully you guys can still hear and understand me. But yeah, anyway, so the last time that we spoke, I updated you guys about my studying methods, I guess, for lack of a better word, that I was using back in March. And we haven't really talked since then, so yeah, definitely time for an update. So I have a huge and horrible confession to make, and the month of April was basically a black hole, no studying kind of month for me. I have tons of excuses and none of them are really good. I got sick for a little bit. I had a cold at the beginning of April. I went home to visit my family for a week in Colorado, and so I wasn't studying during that time. When I got back, I had a lot of things to catch up on. Work got super crazy, and so being at work all day and then coming home, I just really wasn't in the mood at all to be studying, and so I totally just took a month off. I did not study at all during April. I felt a little bit bad about it. I am definitely a perfectionist, and I felt like I was already failing, betraying my goals, complete fail. But it's still so far away from the test, and things happen. Life is messy. So I'm just trying to kind of forgive myself for basically failing on my study plan for a month, and just move on forwards and kind of get back into things. And it is already pretty much the end of May. I have, of course, more excuses. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks, and I was barely able to get out of bed for a lot of the days, so I don't really feel that bad that I wasn't studying the last 2 weeks, but now it is time to get back into it. And so I wanted to update you guys on what my study plan is next for kind of month, 3 and 4, I guess, of studying for the CHT exam. I had been going through Rehab of the Hand, kind of cover to cover. I've made it through about 10 chapters. I probably won't end up reading the whole thing cover to cover. I'll see. I think the first part of the book was very helpful for me to read in detail because it covered a lot of anatomy and structural topics that are hard to understand without reading it. And then also like the clinical examination. Like, to me, that's really hard to study without just reading through, diagnostic tests and all those kinds of things. So I felt like that was really helpful, but I'm ready for a break from Rehab of the Hand. Definitely reading textbooks takes a lot of energy and time, and I think maybe in this next couple months I'm going to shift my focus to really honing in on the anatomy, excuse me, getting really comfortable with all of the different muscular groups of the shoulders, the elbow, the hand, the wrist, the thumb, all of those anatomical structures, the muscles, the neurovascular structures. All of that is such a foundational component that I think it's really important that I focus in on that in the next couple of months. So let me share with you kind of what I'm thinking, and you guys can share with me what you've found to be really helpful when you're studying anatomy again. And of course, we've all learned it before, but going back when you're not in school and you don't have dedicated coursework can be a little bit difficult. So if you guys have any tips or tricks that have worked for you, or study resources or tools, please leave them in the comments below because I would love to hear about them. So what I've been doing so far to learn the anatomy is using Quizlet. So it's a little app and also a website that you can use on your computer or your smartphone. You create an account and you can create all these different quizzes or flashcards, and then you have different ways to learn them. So it makes you go through the flashcards over and over. You can do pictures, you can do matching, you can do like trying to, type in the answer, and it kind of switches it up. So you really do go over that material. Now, I don't think this is necessarily the only way that I'm going to be studying the anatomy, but for those basic memorization things like origins, insertions, the activation, and the innervation of each muscle group, like for me, that's all about repetition. So the more I can do that, whether it's when I have a patient cancel at work, when I'm waiting, in line at the grocery store, whatever I'm doing that I don't need to be fully present in the moment, I can be going through these little quizzes and just be going through that repetitive task over and over. Blah, I cannot talk today. My brain is still a little bit sick. Sorry, guys. But yeah, those Quizlet quizzes I think are going to be really helpful. I think I'm also going to do a lot of whiteboard repetition. So for me, I know that writing things down helps my brain to remember them more. So the more that I study for memorization tasks, like memorizing anatomy, the more I write it down, the better I remember it. So I think going over that in the next few months and continuing to do that every so often will be really helpful as well. I've been thinking about too, maybe some flashcards that like either the Netter's anatomy flashcards. I don't have any yet, so if you guys have a brand that you know and you like, that might be helpful too. I do have the Netter's Atlas, so I can refer to that whenever I want to, and it does really help to look at the picture while you're studying the muscle, to visualize it on your body, to do the actions on your body. So that's kind of how I'm going about that so far. But yeah, if you guys have any tips, tricks, resources, tools that you've used and you've liked in the past, definitely let me know. I would love to hear about them. Yeah, so that's my plan for the next probably 2 months. I'm dedicating June and July to hitting the anatomy hard. I am going to try to get back into the swing of my study schedule where I'm studying, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, at least 3 weekdays, and then at least one of the weekend days trying to study at least an hour. Still pretty far away from the test. I honestly don't know if I'm going to take it in November. I feel like with the way that things have been going so far and the inconsistency of life and work and just general craziness, it might not be realistic, but we'll see. We'll see. Every day is a new day, and every month we'll get a little bit stronger with the knowledge and a little bit more confident in myself. So I'll definitely let you guys know when I decide what time I'm going to be taking the test for. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's definitely time to end this video. Wow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and let me know any study tips that you might have, and let's have a great rest of the day. Thanks, guys.